Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented by Prize Picks. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. It is that time of week where we have a guest join us. Check him out on the BOMM podcast. As you can see, his city back up is a must. He outside. Travonne Edwards. You had to put off for Compton. I feel like Compton got to be feeling like they're on top of the world right now.
Oh man, you see how the Knicks fans is acting in the streets? That's how we are right now. You can't tell us nothing. You can't tell us nothing.
Yo, the other day after this all popped off, I went and listened for the first time in I don't know how many years to Dollars and Cents by DJ Quick. And before you get to the infamous, I guess they ain't the G because the G ain't in you, which is an all-time like diss line. But he seemed so annoyed in the first place that the dude didn't spell his name right. Like he said, your whole crew been embarrassed by the fact that your name is misspelled. And for some reason, that was a much colder diss than I had ever really let marinate at the time.
Yeah, I mean the beat is hard, yet alone that, and then he just attacks him, and then he's just like, just goes at this dude, annihilates him, and the feud continues. Like it's like 3 albums later, he's still going. Like he's just like, maybe
they went for like 10 years.
Yeah, he's like, maybe if you get your head together, we might could work together. But until then, nah.
My thing about that is, even though that it was some clear gang shit on top of everything else, every time somebody talks about all the beefs in the 90s ended violent, somehow, that one did not.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a mutual respect in that scenario. And also, if anything was to really happen, we wouldn't have a city. That city would have been tore up. It would have been tore up. It was just not the time to be really, really doing that. Let's just bang on wax and call it a day. Let's not take it anywhere further than that.
My other thing about that beef is, so every city, every place, and I'm extending the city like you keep it at Compton, we can extend it out to LA for purposes of this discussion, right? Mm-hmm. But every city has got their dude that everybody else thinks is good, but y'all think no matter where you from is Tony the Tiger great, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like in a lot of ways, at least on beats, that's what DJ Quick is to LA dudes, right? Like, yeah, y'all rock with Dre, we all rock with Dre, but it's something different about Quick, right? Every city also always has some dude that can't rap, that but for whatever reason, you claim locally a little tougher than you probably should. But for whatever reason, you take his non-rapping ass. You even get into arguments with people about it and be willing to defend him, and that's MC8. Y'all, the cats from LA have tried to argue with me about MC8 many times, and I just don't know what to do because I don't feel like I need to mount an intellectual argument. Outside of that, I just don't understand what we, even straight up minutes, man. Like, wow, that's a great beat and a significant message. But what we really doing here, dog?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never was on the 8 side, maybe because I just chose Quick. And Quick's the guy that I would fight for. Like if I see any DJ Quick slander, I am going straight to Temecula. I will tell you the pinpoint, share my location. Let's fight like 2 men from the 90s. You know what I mean? Straight up. Like I will fight for Quick. That's how much I love Quick. Quick is a hometown hero for me.
Let me tell you what else Quick is too, because I know Quick from a different angle. And this thing people don't get. Like what I try to explain to people about the G-Funk and everything else is, it's not just that white boys love it, it's white boys love it that don't love us at all, but love that, right? Like I heard that coming out a lot of pickup trucks, and Quick is in the same category. Like that run of LA rap, man, I think them boys is all trying to make America great again right now. But back then, hey man, they might as well have been born and raised, but they might have all been born and raised in Compton. Every single one of them. That was their jam.
Yeah, I mean, I think he understood, just like Kendrick, he understood his responsibility as like being quote unquote the Pied Piper for the people, because you can make the wrong tune and we'll burn that whole city down on accident. You know what I mean? Like you got to be very mindful of like what type of songs you create, because everybody's like, oh, Kendrick should give us a whole album like Not Like Us. And I'm like, nah, bruh. That getting the wrong hands. You see it, bro. They cutting up. It look like the Lakers won a championship. We do not need that type of energy. That's why I'll be glad he be making that therapy rap and all that other stuff. Cool, make it. Because if YG was Kendrick, we wouldn't have nothing. The violence would be back up. The 90s would be back. People would be you couldn't ride public transportation. They'd be asking what type of shoes you wearing. They bring back Mark and Buster. Like we don't need that. Like we still trying to get funds.
Dog, if I was Kendrick, I'd be like Rihanna after Anti. I would never make another song. I'd be on the damn Bar Simpson. I would like to announce my retirement undefeated from video boxing. That nothing is ever going to do this. I can say with confidence right now, forget about the beef part itself. Just talk about the song. It's the song of 2024. It's impossible for anything to like cut through the noise and resonate in the way that this did. No song can do that anymore. This one did it immediately.
Yeah, this was a sonic boom. Straight from Guile. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, you know what I mean? And I'm biased as hell. So I'm just like, all right, I'm going to sit this through and just, Kenny, you got one of those? And I was just chilling because I got the thing. I definitely didn't want to be spoiled. I wanted to hear all these songs in real time. And, I was communicating with you throughout this whole thing. And I'm just kind of like, well, we got some more coming. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he got 2 more. But it's been fun, man. And it's good because I seen something on the internet last night where they said his last public appearance was in Mexico City. So he has this good like whole anonymity thing of like, we haven't seen him. His voice is just out there. He's just, and I called him a sniper and everybody laughed. And I'm like, no, he's really on the roof. Just letting them
but
picking him apart.
Like, sniper, and by sniper, we don't mean like a sniper for the army. We mean a crazy person. We mean one of these dudes that's decided he's going to go set up and shut this whole thing down because he is, in fact, a crazy person. Let me tell you something that happened to me, though. I think you'll appreciate this as you have been to my house. That joint came out when I was in North Carolina. And so I was hearing it in the rental car. Right. Oh, by the way, I think a lot of people just heard this. Yeah, I was in North Carolina for a weekend. Anyway, so it was in the rental car. Like, it was okay, but it wasn't great, right? I was listening to it a lot on headphones, which was cool, but at the crib, I primarily listened to vinyl, but I ran it through the YouTube app on the Apple TV, and I got that running through a digital. No, I got that running through an optical cable from the television. I'm doing all this for the sound people. I know some of y'all don't think any of those details matter. But anyway, I say all that to say I got to run that for the first time through the speakers at my house that I be talking about all the time. And the ones that you yourself have actually heard. Oh, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to hear it myself. I need to hear a couple of ticks and dings.
It's got a lot more bass in it than I recognize, brother man.
Yeah, if you put that to the sound of, if you put a speaker to the ground of Compton, some people that you ain't seen in probably 10 years gonna come outside.
Yes. Oh, Sean just got in the chat. It was like he could confirm the absurdity of speakers. Yes, I ran this joint through the speakers, and I was like, man, y'all got to put this out on vinyl, baby. I don't need all of them, but I need this one here on vinyl.
I'll send the message.
That's what I need.
I'll send the message if he wants to be that petty. I don't know if he really wants to be that petty. I think he just really just wanted to prove to a point of like snap out of the trance. You know what I mean? Like, Drake is very good, very talented, and has had the world in his palm for a very long time. And it was kind of like everybody was just like, just in a hypnotic thing of like, what? And then Kenny was just like, hold on, unplug your ears. Go listen to something else. Because that's the thing. He's not even really trying to do the whole champion thing. Like, I mean, that's for the fans and stuff like that. But he was just basically saying, like, dog, it's way better, harder rappers out here. Like, y'all just not listening fully through. It's better music.
He was doing more than that. He did.
Yeah, he competition.
He does. I'm sorry that man is your father is beyond the state of competition. This man was standing on a different business. But I will say this: speaking of standing on business, you see what my man Jokić decided that he was going to do the 14 feet of disappointment.
Freak of nature, as he says. athleticism or something, bro. Leave that man alone. I think man, you could send a double, you could send a triple. I don't know. I ain't seen it. I mean, I watched Hakeem, I watched Shaq, I watched David Robinson. I watched Patrick Ewing. Man, I've seen a lot of bigs. You've seen a lot of bigs. I'm sure Sean and the rest of the people tuned in have seen bigs. And this dude, as bad as people were cooking Rudy Gobert, he was playing good defense and couldn't do nothing. He couldn't do nothing. Like, it wasn't about the Defensive Player of the Year award. Man, Sasquatch could have been out there trying to defend that man. He would not have been able to stop him. No shot. It's no shot. No shot.
He was making incredible shots, and he had just made the decision that if we got to get dirty, I got to get dirty. If it got to get nasty, I guess that's just what I'm going to have to do. Because this is where I think Jokić and Olajuwon are similar in a way that I don't think that people talk about enough. We associate Olajuwon so much with the dream shake and the post moves, but the real separating factor with Olajuwon, because keep in mind, Olajuwon's really like 6'9.5", 6'10", right? Like he's not a 7-footer, right? Olajuwon could get you facing the basket from 17 feet before he gets into action or hit the jumper from there or whatever it is. Of those really, really cold big men like that, not even David Robinson, I think this really applies to, where you really had to worry about what they was going to do to you facing the basket. And that's what Jokić is providing. And if you got something for facing the basket, that's fine. How about I just bring my big ass down here, and I'm super long. Don't ever lose sight of that. And I'm just going to bang in your chest. And oh, by the way, I got these spins and feats and all of this stuff right here, too. Like, it ain't going to look like Olajuwon, because ain't nothing going to look like Olajuwon. But he got a reasonable facsimile of it.
He was posting up from 25 to 31. I haven't seen someone post up at the 3-point line. Game 3, right? Because game 1, game 2, Wolves did a great job. Adjustments, took away the dunker spot for Aaron Gordon. Cool. Jokić, I don't know what film they watched. I don't know if he made this adjustment on his own. He said, all right, I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to back down. All right, cool. Karl Anthony Towns. Karl, I'm picking on you. You're my guy today. You're going to be the watcher. He's just watching Aaron Gordon. Whoop. You look at the stat sheet. 12 for 12. Finish like what? Oh, I'm going to kill him all night because you're going to be a watcher. Then they call themselves trying to make an adjustment. Oh yeah, I'm not going to turn over the ball. Oh, y'all thought this was over. Okay, yeah, this going to be a long night. Just like Jamal Murray told him that, that previous story when Gobert was on the Jazz. You got 47, brother. I got 47, brother. I got 47. Like, what are you going to do, bro?
Yo, I
trash
love
talk
one
falls,
of the things
the letters literally fall if you trash talk this man. It like you watch it and then it just falls.
One of the things I love watching in basketball is when champions play like champions. Like, it's a real hard thing to explain. Like, that Game 6 Warriors Thunder, where the Thunder blew that lead, that was the champions deciding we not done yet. This ain't happening on our watch. And it's wild. All you got to do is win one, and then you can. To me, one of the greatest examples, I think I've talked about it on the show, but I believe it was the series they got eliminated. But the Raptors, after they lost Kawhi Leonard, right, they're not the same team that they were, obviously, but they were in the bubble, and they were in one of the back against the wall games. And Kyle Lowry, who we have savaged for basically an entire decade for coming up short in games like that. Kyle Lowry and Marc Gasol and Siak, them dudes turned into the Avengers, if only for a moment, because that's what it looks like when the champs decide they not going anywhere. Like, I used to be like, just because you win a championship, you don't become a new person. You might not become a new person, but y'all become a new thing, right?
Yeah,
like, y'all become a whole new entity.
Yeah, you end up seeing, you know that feel where you be like, oh, we only down 14? We good. We are good. Just hold your end of the deal. I'm going to hold my end of the deal. I'm going to box out a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get to the line these next two, because you can walk it through. Some people just be coaching it through. That's how those Warriors runs used to be, where you'd be like, I don't know if I want to jump on the grave too soon, because they've been here before many times. Same as those LeBron teams, because they know, oh, we good. That's why you could be down a 2-0. You could be down a 3-1. You could be down losing home court advantage and saying, okay, long as I can get to 7, I like my chances. Because you've been there. You know how to handle that adversity. They gonna drop these 4 straight. They gonna drop these 4 straight. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, that was
they tapped into that focus. That's something me and you talk about a lot. It's just that ability to focus. Like, focus is a resource. Focus is a talent. Like, the ability to just say, okay, now we're here. We're all the way here. And you know them boys outside of Anthony Edwards, who even himself struggles with that focus. He didn't have that strong. He didn't have a strong game 5. He didn't have a strong game 4. It's hard to have. You got to get the mental reps up to be able to just lock in and understand. I like that's the Michael Jordan thing. Never ever lost focus, not one time.
That's his superpower. Being able to be present. Even basketball players get bored. You get what I'm saying? Your mind it's like meditating for the first time. You bring a hood dude to a meditation class and you say, hey, bro, trust me. Just close your eyes. It's gonna happen. If you ain't there, it ain't gonna happen, bruh. You just not. That's hooping. You get up, your shots fall in, you comfortable, you up 18, you up 22. You know what I mean? You might still a win, you might do this. Being able to finish the job is very hard. It is very hard because you have to be consistent. You have to do the things the same thing, and you try to make yourself, you psych yourself out into being like, I'm good. I don't need to do this. And it's like, nah. And that's why most of them fumbled opportunities because they're just not there. They get too excited. They don't close it out. You got to be so locked in on that one task. And that's just not, I think Patrick Mahomes got that.
Yeah.
I think, it's certain guys that you just like, Brady, you know what I'm saying? That you get in that situation, you like, oh, he a killer. He ain't about to let this go. He ain't about to let this go at all.
LeBron James got to that place.
He did. I felt like he got there for a minute, for sure. He was like, white noise.
Like he got there early and then he fell off. And then he got back.
Well, once he started trying to market it as 0 dark 30, that's what I think he jinxed himself when he was like, oh, 0 dark 30 mode. I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm going to be a not human and I'm going to lock. Just do it. Just do it. And then we'll be like playoff Bron. But when you start to like commercialize it and make it seem like playoff P, bro, y'all are not that locked. I love Paul George. I love a bunch of these players. The same thing as the Mamba mentality. Y'all just saying that. This is a cool bumper sticker for y'all. Cool bumper sticker, slam ups poster, whatever you want to call it. But y'all not like Kobe, bro. That a gamble. You know what I mean? He be that, he want to fight and practice. Ain't none of y'all like that.
Dude, it takes a lot. Like, the best comparison I could like personally relate to is when I did the first season of the HBO show, I locked in like that, right? I just didn't have time to really talk to people. I was off the social stuff completely. Like, I was going to sleep at 10 o'clock at night, every night, because I knew I needed to wait. I didn't have time to do any of those other things. We were literally working 7 days a week doing that show. And I was either doing that show or doing my podcast, but those are the only things I did. I didn't do it the same way the next way. That's not the reason things went the way they did, but I could tell you it was a difference. And you have to lock in and focus like that, you have to give up a lot. Like once you decide that this is the only thing that I'm really on, that's tough. Like there's the in the moment part, and then there's the outside the moment part. And we know this now for the Nuggets. They locked in on the in the moment part. And I want to ask you this part. Because and for people who don't know this, Travonne's played a lot of high-level basketball, right? Like, you understand these things. Even if you ain't playing the NBA, you understand the things we're talking about in a first-person sort of sense. Mm-hmm. And in life, you have moments where you feel this way, but we're talking specifically about the basketball thing. There ain't nothing quite like when they try to tell you that somebody is like you and they not like you. And I feel like Mike Malone went into one of those film sessions after one of them practices and told Jokić, you like him. Y'all about the same. Mm-hmm. And, brother, I have 47. You're not the same. Like, he looked intent on proving we are not the same.
I think the conversation also goes into like, all right, we're both Hall of Famers. Like we're walking in the same door. No, we're not walking in the same door, brother. We're not walking in the same door. You know what I mean? You get those comps and you're just kind of like, oh, well, y'all both 6'1", y'all both shoot, y'all do this. And you're just like, oh, perfect example. Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And that's where we got the shrug and the 6 3-pointers. Because shout out to the journalist. I can't remember his name at this particular moment, but he asked Michael Jordan, what is the difference between you and Clyde Drexler? Mike was like, are y'all kidding me? Are you serious right now? All right, dog. All right. Yeah, let's all right. When we play again, all right, cool. Yup. And that was it. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, dog. We are not in the same tier.
Not like this.
No.
Nothing.
Don't do me like
that. No matter how humble the person is, right? No matter who you're talking about. When you tell a person that somebody liked them and they not like them, or they don't think that they like them, that is never, ever, not once forgotten. It is the
not
ultimate.
To circle back on the Kendrick and Drake thing, right?
That's exactly what it is. Y'all saying he like me.
You saying, oh, it's the big three. We da. Like, bro, don't group me in with none of them. I'm about to show y'all. I can show y'all better than I can tell y'all because, again, hey, I understand y'all like these whole charts and these records. And because, again, he's very talented. He knows how to make songs. He's been a part of 10 years of most of people's lives in their ears. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, hold on, bro.
Sometimes I'm gonna show you.
I'm gonna show you this. Yeah, sometimes you got to pop out and show him. That's what he really got to show him. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if we went and got technical with it, and we start talking the thoughts, we start talking the Lupes, we start talking about them assassins. Oh, they gonna be game too. They gonna be sharpening their knives. Now we got a whole different conversation. I think that's a Royal Rumble I would love to see before I leave this planet. You know what I'm saying? We're just like, just off pure skill. Not this, like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like, yo, I do think Drake can rap. But look,
yes,
you're not like us, bro. You are not like us.
Nothing makes me like dislike the kind of person I can be. Mm-hmm. Right? Then realizing, wait a minute. You think we the same? Wait, hold on. I must be getting this mixed up somehow. You think that we the same? Because there's no way for you to explain that you're not the same other than to bring the pain. Right? No matter what the thing is, the only way that you can make it clear that you are not the same as whoever the person is in some form or fashion to bring the pain. That's the only way that you could do it. And you just got to hope you was never cool with that person in the first place. Like, it's a good thing for Rudy that Nikola Jokić was never like, we wasn't really like that in the first place, right? Because he just brought pain. And I mean, I would love to know what Jokić, here's what I want Jokić to do. What if Jokić goes and tells Carl, brother, I am the best shooting big man in the league. Tell me I am wrong.
That's taking your chocolate milk. That's taking the Jell-O that you liked during cafeteria in front of the girl that you had a crush on.
Yes.
That is that. That is pure bully mode. And I honestly, sometimes I wish he was just that arrogant. I mean, he would be more of a villain because we would get tired of it and we would hate him. But it would be great for the story. But it makes, I think it makes it worse.
But see, I don't think he has to be arrogant. But hold on, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't even think he has to be arrogant, right? Like, I talked about my mom on the pod on Monday, right? The thing you need to understand about my mama is one of the nicest people that you will ever meet in the world. Just an absolute sweetheart, right? But she is the poster child for kindness does not equal weakness. And there are moments where something happens and you can tell that for whatever reason, somebody has implied that they the same as my mama is. And when she does not believe that, brother, it comes out. And if there's any time or place that there will be some competition where this implication that we are the same is there, it will be disputed grandly, I tell you. I say all that to say you ain't even got to be arrogant. It's just one that you hear and you're just like, whoa, let's take a 20. Can we go to the screens? Can I throw the challenge? Because the challenge was not overturned. All right then. Guess we gonna have to go on a 15-2 run.
Check rock.
Yep.
Check rock, dog. Check rock. Hey, I mean, you know what's crazy? You could get that in a debate. You can get that in certain podcast shows, right? Because like a lot of people like to loop podcasters into like these things. And then you look at it and be like, all right, let's cover the same topic. Let's cover the same topic. And I'm going to show you how to walk it down. And, you know, and you're going to see who really do this and who don't. And who doing this for the clicks and who actually could talk to those people that really need that. Or that, where you got an episode where you got to go back and they miss something.
Right.
That's a whole nother thing. That's just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Man. Jokic just like that.
But let me do this. We about to sell some stuff. But when we come back, I want to ask you a couple questions about what seems to be I feel like we starting a media conspiracy right now that's unnecessary, that feels very cynical. And I'm going to tell you what it is on the other side. That's a tease. Testing your skills on Prize Picks this playoff basketball season is the most simple way to get in on the action. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and submit your lineup. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. Playoff time is your time to join the Prize Picks community of over 5 million members who've already downloaded the app. But rather than hearing it from me, let's hear from somebody who actually uses Prize Picks. Sean, why should the people join the app?
Well, Bomani, I personally love all the options Prize Picks gives me for the games of the playoffs, from, point totals to steals, blocks. You really, you can make a pick about anything and anyone. And this playoff season, the star players mean more on Prize Picks. So keep an eye out for a starred player on the board, and you can receive up to, I think it's like 13% payout boost. And if they're winning on your lineup, that's the best way to make your picks. That's why I love making picks on guys like Anthony Edwards, Nikola Jokić, and, even Jalen Brunson.
All right, you heard it straight from the source. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Summertime is right around the corner, which means vacation season is in full swing. Sean, you got any trips lined up?
I got some weddings back on the East Coast, which, they're not too crazy, but I got a big trip in France. It's a big wedding. I'm going to make a whole vacation about it. So, it's summertime. I'm really excited. And, I'm hoping to turn that trip into like a longer vacation. It's my first time in France, but I'm curious, how about you? Any other trips you got going on?
Oh, yeah, I'm making a move to the islands. I got a couple of trips through Europe that I'm going to be doing. I hope to have an extended trip a little bit later, which means I'll definitely be using Viator to help plan and book my trip. The Viator app and website make it easy to explore 300,000 plus travel experiences so you can discover what's out there no matter where you're traveling or what you're interested in. You can enjoy real traveler reviews to get insider information from people who've already been on the experiences you're considering. Plus, free cancellation helps you plan for the unexpected, and Viator offers 24/7 customer service, so you'll get support at any hour if things aren't going as planned.
I got to say, the free cancellation thing and like the 24-hour customer service, that's like a massive draw for me, because you never know if like things go wrong on a trip and you're stuck in a country where you don't speak the language.
Right, and nobody wants that. So to all our listeners, download the Viator app now and use code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking in the app. Find the perfect travel experiences for you. Do more with Viator. Hey, Travonne, right fast. Somebody asked in the chat, what city's more up right now, Compton or New York? I feel like you're uniquely qualified to answer that because Knicks fans is up, dog. Up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Knicks. The energy, we ain't outside like that. We got some ops outside. You can't be out too You can't be out too much. But yeah, no, the Knicks is up. I seen Noriega and Busta Rhymes with the crowd, so I know that I ain't. We ain't gonna get Kendrick outside right now. But yeah, I'm gonna say
Nah,
that.
ain't nobody more up than John Starks. John Starks is so up because John Starks sell cars now. Like, I'm honestly surprised that John Starks isn't out there in Queens having viewing parties at the Shack. Like, that's what I would be doing. I would be turning open. I would not be in the Garden if I was him. Or maybe you do that for the road games. But you come in, get them people in there, sell them some cars. That's what my man Mattress Mac be doing. When the Rockets was rolling, Mattress Mac was like, come sit on our couches and watch the game.
Yeah. I mean, shit, he was almost on the court last night. He's in the dunker spot. Thought he was going to do some help side defense. And they're walking back down to the seat.
You got to think about it. He ain't never had no opportunity to cash in on being John Starks. They've been sorry since he left, right? Yeah. So all those cats, this is their first chance to like really walk in the arena and get the love and everybody be happy to see him because it's him, it's Larry Johnson. They ain't letting Oak in there yet. Bernard King, Ewing showing back up. Like they have had no opportunity to bathe in the love.
Yeah. No, that's for real.
They gonna get it. But let me ask you this. You've done a lot of coaching, you played a lot of basketball, and you know a lot about LA basketball. I feel like we are in the process. We got a draft coming up in the NBA that doesn't have a lot of very good players in it. Like, people just simply aren't excited about the class of players in this draft. And so the most compelling figure in the draft, without question, is LeBron James Jr. We call him Bronny to try to act like he's not LeBron James Jr., but come on, that's what we see when he's out there. Bronny's in this draft. Bronny is a 6'1" point guard who seems to be very, very athletic, and he has long arms. But guess who else has long arms? Literally everybody in the NBA. Have you seen an NBA player when you've seen him?
It's tough to say because I think, like, watching him in McDonald's All-American, watching a couple games in the SC, you know what I mean? He was on minutes restriction, so he was kind of capped. I do think that he has the intangibles to be like a role player at best. You get what I'm saying? But I don't think that the road is like fair. You know what I'm saying? Compared to actual guys that are in there and that have put in work in college and have done what they needed to do to get this thing. But he's actually a 2 guard. He's not a 1. He doesn't want the ball. He doesn't, like, he's not helping himself right now in the combine, right? I seen they clipped up his 4 points and his, I think it was like 4 assists or something, like 4 rebounds. I'm not sure which the other stat was. He was 4 and 4. But at 6'1", you don't have the luxury to say, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna play the wing. You know what I mean? Like, Fred VanVleet.
You got to be super cold.
And Fred was able to do that a little bit in Toronto, you know what I'm saying? And now he's back at the 1 in Houston, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. And then to say that he's going to defend, he's athletic as hell. Athletic as hell, but you're not going to get too many chase down blocks. You're not going to get too many, like, scenarios where, that makes you great in the help side. Guys aren't just going to be just floating passes because everybody, like you said, everybody's just as athletic. Everybody's, just as big. Like, you got to be twice as good. You know what I'm saying? And in this scenario, like, I don't think anybody gets fired for taking a gamble on him, but I would see him going as an unsigned free agent to the potential team that his dad ends up, right? Yeah. And I liked his answer where he said he just wants to play in the NBA. He's not really pressed about playing with his dad to kind of give himself some type of freedom, but he also has to outshine these moments, you know what I mean? Like, because again, you can't make an excuse and say, oh, he's only 19 and all this. They rush the process. And that's the one thing Melo was talking about with Kyan. Like, bro, we not rushing nothing because it gets tricky in these moments. LeBron can only do so much in a scenario to put his son in a situation where he even got that invite. I think I finished college with 4 points a game. You know what I'm saying? But my assist was at least high. I was a pass first point guard. I'm not getting no invite to, to that. So the idea as a guard, those are big man stats. You normally invite a 7'2" big man that could rebound and block shots with low point average. But for a guard, and he's not aggressive, he's not a killer. Like, he can knock down a three. I think he's a very good NBA 3-point shooter. I think that he does play defense. I think he has energy. He could be all those things, but like, come in and help somebody right now? Nah. He got to learn how to play the point. And that's the thing that we've gotten away from in the past 4 years about, the league's transitioning into a positionless game. We watched it with Phoenix not have a point guard. We're watching some of these teams don't have a big, and they're getting punished. You can't have these tweeners of 6'2" guys that don't know how to bring the ball up but only can shoot threes. Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's out. That's out, dog. That's out. We got to get back to the fundamentals. You're doing a disservice to those players, letting them be undersized just because they're athletic.
Right. I mean, there's things that have to be done on a basketball court between those 5 people. And it's probably the easiest way to do it is to divide these things among certain templates that you have in place, like positions, right? Like, you can say that there are no positions everywhere else, but you can't say that about a point guard. Like, this is the thing we saw with Boston, right? They went ahead and actually got a point guard this year. And not that Drew Holiday is the purest point guard you've ever seen, right? He's not Chris Paul, but he's a point guard.
Yeah. I mean, that team is rostered with kind of tweeners. Peyton Pritchard's undersized. Guard. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Acting as a point guard. But you think about Derek White, who actually ran a system with Pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could flip that switch on. He also knows how to score. Drew Holiday played some point. So, like, they got guys that actually could wear certain hats. It's not like they don't have point guard experience. But some of these teams are getting guys that don't have no point guard experience. They've had the Marcus Thorntons of the world. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Marcus Thornton. Bucket. Shouts to the Jordan Crawfords. You know what I mean? Buckets. But that's not going to cut it. You can't just throw them out there and say play point, because they're going to look for theirs first.
Yeah. And number one, they're going to be coming for Bronny at every turn, man. Like he has got the biggest target on his back. Everybody going to come for him, but he's the story of this draft that we have in front of us. Like, I saw something where Woj apparently had put it out there saying that Bronny's going to pack G League arenas. No, he's not. I don't feel like he moves the needle in the way that people are trying to make it out to be. Like, this isn't like the kid Arch Manning, the quarterback at Texas, who's Peyton Manning's nephew. There's a real intrigue around him. And I could be wrong, but I don't get the feeling that there's this real intrigue around Bronny. Like, I don't feel like that there's all these people that want to see him play. We know he's not that level of guy. And I agree with you. It felt like they skipped the process in a way. They juke in the process in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't feel like it serves him, unless they think it's a weak draft and you jump in because the draft is weak.
I don't even like the idea that people are saying the draft is weak. I think it's just that there's no, like, starters, right? In a scenario of that, like, when have we had a draft in the past 5 years that just had, like, multiple stars in it? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a name where you just got, like, a guy that's like, okay, he's going to be a franchise guy. He's going to be this. But there's a bunch of role guys that came in and became something. I do think that a Reed Shepherd could do this. I think a Jared McCain could do this. Like, that are going to help teams. You know what I mean? You get those Josh Hart type players. You get those Christian Braun type guys. This is what this draft is full of, that you fill your needs. You fill your needs that you can't afford in free agency. You get it here in this draft. It's not it's disrespectful. Ron Holland, another kid. Like, there's talent all through this joint. You know what I'm saying? I just think that and also, most fans don't really look at it. Some players just got NBA game and don't have college game. They just don't.
Yeah.
You know, they flip that switch and it's like, oh, he was actually better in the pros. What happened? And it's like, no, you in a system. Sometimes some coaches just love to see their plays being ran. Some coaches like, hey, you're not going to score over 20. That don't mean you can't score 20. We just, this is your role. We play amongst this system, and you only going to take this certain amount of shots.
Right.
It's not like, oh, somebody's sleeping on somebody. It's just that's just how the pattern of the things go. So I don't think this is a weak draft. I just think that when you think of like the highly touted names that are coming out, like the Boozer kids and the Cooper Flags, and like even still, I don't think that Cooper Flag is like quote unquote generational. You know what I'm saying? I do think that he's going to be good, but like to be like, oh, he about to just change the league is kind of crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think he'll be a starter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
we don't have them type of players yet where we just like, yo, he the next. Victor is by himself for a good reason. By himself. Victor is in the LeBron Jameses of the world. Even the Giannis Antetokounmpo, we had to wait. It wasn't just like a splash immediately. So it's a disservice to those players that have entered, the draft to say that this is a wash. Because by the end of next year, we're going to have like 5 to like 10 players that we're going to be like, yeah, we were wrong.
Well, I'll throw this out there. 2013, and you mentioned Giannis. 2013 was a draft that we thought was weak. I mean, for God's sake, Anthony Bennett was the number 1 overall pick. But it did turn out to have 2 first-round picks that I think are going to end up in the Hall of Fame, even if I joke a lot about one of them, Giannis or Rudy Gobert. But those are guys that turned out to be players. In contrast, the 2014 draft was one that we were sure had 3 superstars at the top of it. And one of those dudes, I don't even think is in the NBA no more.
Who came out that year?
Jabari was Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker,
Andrew
Joel
Wiggins.
Embiid
Andrew
were the top
Wiggins was
3
one.
picks. Yep,
That's
Jabari
tough.
was 2.
Yeah. See, and I like I said, that's tricky, man. You never know. I mean, shouts to them because again, I don't like the idea that just because you're drafted high, you're a bust. You get what I'm saying? Like I think that's also another unfair judgment because everybody's just not going to be that player. But long as you can find your niche in the league and sign multiple contracts, then you're good. Andrew Wiggins still ended up a champion. Still, it took a minute to get to that point, but like at the end of the day, like we rush so much of the development. If you don't got 2 years in the league to pop, then you cooked. Like that's not fair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm probably the only person publicly not bashing this joint.
I see. I tell you this though, I'm gonna send a warning to these teams about Bronny while I'm thinking about it. You remember that time when the draft was going on and LeBron tweeted that somebody should take Shabazz Napier? And the Heat were like, I'll take Shabazz Napier. And then they took Shabazz Napier, and then LeBron went back to Cleveland anyway. Just want to throw that out there for all of y'all that think that just because you're going to take Bronny, you take Bronny, you're going to get LeBron. Nah, you take Bronny, you're going to get Bronny. That's what you're going to get.
And that was the thing. I don't know why people keep falling for that. He already set up the play yesterday that he doesn't care about playing with his dad. He just want to play in the NBA. Now, LeBron just taking that as a confirmation of like, all right, I'm going to let him be his own man. I'm not going to show up to the thing and watch him play. I'm going to let him work out. I'm going to let him answer his own questions. And now that rumor is already still floating in the back of GM's heads. Like, yo, if we make this move, we make a steal, we can get him. We'll move this around. No, you're going to get stuck with that kid. And hey, the hype will be up for a little bit. And, people probably put him in. They're going to go to Summer League. Summer League going to be probably the packed house. I'll say that. Summer League's going to be the packed house wherever he plays. And then after that, if he doesn't deliver, oh, my goodness.
Yo,
everybody going to jump off all them everybody going to jump off that train.
Dog, it's going to be so tough for him with Summer League because literally nobody looks good at Summer League. Oh. Nobody.
And delusional fans think that's when they got something. When their team wins Summer League, they feel like this is their year, and it's like, man, they didn't send nobody. They sent a guy that they probably wanted to transition into a new position.
Yeah. Yo, let me ask you this before we get out of here. What are you thinking about that Thunder Mavs series? It's tied at 2-2. I don't think we talk nearly enough about how well the Thunder have done to pull this thing together and the speed at which they pulled this together and with the dudes that they have. Like, this has been a masterstroke in team building. And on the other side, Luka looked hurt. Kyrie only got 9 shots in the last game, I want to say, which is a coach/star player failure there. That should never happen, especially when Luka's laboring as he is. Because it felt like Dallas had a chance to legitimately win the West. Right now, I feel like Denver going to walk through whoever.
Yeah, I never bought into the whole Dallas winning the West thing, but I will say that Luka is starting to break down. He's got knee stuff. He's just starting to ache. You can just see it. He's getting uncomfortable. It's almost like he, how we used to tease, we call him Jim Harden, but James Harden about, hey, it's that time. He's starting to gas out. And he's starting to gas out, and it's showing. And I think Luka's still very good, but like, the style of play, how they're doing it, and putting Kyrie in the corner as a expensive decoy isn't going to work. You got to let Kai do Kai. But Kai also is like non-controversial right now. He's just trying to get he's trying to have a different approach. All right, I'm going to be mature. All right, I'm going to knock down a shot from time when y'all want to pass me the ball. All right, I'm going to defend. I'm going to do what's best for his team. But I think he has to get a little bit more selfish if he wants this team to go to the next level. And what OKC is doing, man, Presti is running that joint like a college. You know what I'm saying? Like, them boys really like each other. You know what I'm saying? They out there taking team exit interviews, post-game interviews and stuff like that. And they got chemistry there. You know what I mean? Like, I think the one guy that's going to be on the out is Giddy. You know what I mean? Not even because of the BS that he was in, but I just think that when they got to pay somebody, he's on the outs. So I can see him being on the move. And then all they going to do is use that pick and go draft Jalen Williams' brother, Cody, out of Colorado, who's a dog. So,
oh, really?
Hold on, they only going to get better. Not the big man, the wing
okay.
with the braids.
Got it.
The one that looked like Slim from Cash Money. Yeah.
Yo, I felt bad about myself because I was differentiating them, because I was like, the one that looked like his daddy went to Vietnam. And then I looked it up, and actually, it was his granddaddy that went to Vietnam. Yeah, that was exactly what happened. He is the first Vietnamese player in the NBA.
You look at me, you look like that boy, and that boy look like he got some war in him.
Yeah, it's that line from The Wire. You look like you have soul, like in Vietnam.
That's crazy.
And that was actually what happened.
That's hilarious, dude.
But let me tell you this, though. Oklahoma City going to get up there against Denver, and you want to talk about a team that ain't got no answer for Jokić. It's them right there. I am a big Chet fan, and Chet has the heart of a big man, but the body of a tall man. You imagine him trying to guard Jokić for 4 games?
Hey, what's that movie? Is that Road Trip? Where the skinny dude laying with the lady?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's what that post game gonna look like. He gonna be laying up with him. He gonna be in there doing whatever he wrote. Oh my God, bro! And the crazy thing about it, I think he gonna pass more than he actually try to score in that joint. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Shout out to Thunder.
Well, that's gonna be the same thing if Dallas get out there with them with Lively and the other one I hadn't heard of until now. Who the one that's been balled? Is it Gafford? Is that what his name is?
Yeah, Daniel Gafford out of they got him up out of Washington.
Yeah, both of them, dog. Both of them be up there on Jokić, just like, what am I supposed to do, man? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. And MPJ, once he get it going again, he gonna find it. And it's gonna probably be next round. He gonna find it. He's struggling a little bit, but he gonna find it for sure.
Well, the other thing, too, for Dallas against Denver, and it's not that Jamal Murray is some great defender, but he is 6'5". Like, the thing that you got to just remember about Denver is they're big at every single position. And so the big Luka advantage is he's always so much bigger than whoever's guarding him, or whoever's guarding him isn't quick enough because it's really like a power forward or like a small forward that's trying to guard their point guard, right? They can't stay with it. Denver got big dudes.
Yeah. No, they got size, man. Like, people don't think about that joint, dog. Like, They run a big squad, man, and even when they're not making shots, they still find a way to grind. Like, they don't be too rattled, man. And they got bodies. And Reggie Jackson's been good for them too. Like,
Yes.
I casted Reggie Jackson away like 2 years ago, and he's still just hanging in there with his mismatched shoes. He gonna come in there, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all got the prize picks, man. Take the over for him, man, because he greedy. He greedy. He's still trying to get him a whole nother contract.
I imagine Reggie Jackson, after they won a championship last year, taking a picture of his ring and sending it to Russell Westbrook. That team hated that dude. They hated that dude because he was trying to get his bread, right? Like, it's just like, look, man, I got to get this money.
That just reads funny sometimes when I be saying certain guys got championship rings. We like NBA champion Reggie Jackson, NBA champion Ish Smith. You know what I mean? Like, or those guys, the DeAndre Jordans.
NBA champion JaVale McGee. When that happened, like, it was just like, wow.
That was great.
Really
Nick Young,
happened.
too. Nick Young. There's some guys that just like... And then you think about the T-Macs. You think about the Chris Pauls.
Champion.
Hey, man.
Charles Barkley.
You just got to find your guys. Michael Finley's. You know what I mean? Like, guys gonna get their joint. They gonna find it.
Yeah. Can you imagine being Charles Barkley and having to take that gibberish off of Kenny Smith?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Kenny be getting it off too. Kenny was solid. He was solid, but when he got to the point where he was on them championship teams, I was looking more at Sam Cassell's. And
that's what I was about to say. I'm from Houston, man. I can tell you, solid is an appropriate way to put it. But I don't know if you remember when they first started doing Inside the NBA with Charles, right? Because people forget there was a show before Charles, and then Charles showed up, and everything was different. But what makes Charles Barkley so irreplaceable on television is that there's nobody as big and as famous as him who is not just willing to be the butt of the joke, but you don't even have to tell him that the joke is coming. Because I'm here to tell you, fuck all that. Y'all ain't about to be out here pulling my pants down and I don't know it's coming. You could do that with Charles, but they had set up a gag called the Champions Club, and it was looking like a club, and it was all set up. They had a bouncer outside, and Kenny and Charles are walking to the Champions Club, and Kenny's about to go in, and Charles is about to go in, and Kenny's like, oh, ho, wait a minute. Only for champions. Only for champions. He's standing outside, like, calling out who's in the Champions Club. Like, yo, Nate Archibald. Hey, da-da-da. Like, he's calling all this. And Charles says, y'all tried to play a joke on the Chuckster, right? I would burn the studio down. We are not making a joke out of this.
Yeah.
We're not.
That's it. That is it. No, I ain't in it. You know how you get dunked on and all the cameras out? Yeah. Nobody leaving. I'm confiscating everything. No. We not doing none of that.
You turn into LeBron James just that fast, huh?
Hey, man. You see they took them video of him dancing to They Not Like Us down.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Poor Drake. That had to be the hardest thing for Drake. Didn't Drake get on the shop that time talking about how he let LeBron down?
Yeah, during the Pusha T joint.
Was because when he was being a deadbeat dad, and he felt like, I'm like, LeBron? You worried about letting LeBron down?
Hey, this is people's heroes.
Dog. Watching LeBron dance to Not Like Us just had to be like, I ain't got nobody, man.
Yeah, everybody jumped. It's a couple people that's still there. It's still a couple people there. It's still a couple people there. They going out sad though, because you don't have to go out there sad. If you're not related, or you're not like a part of the crew and on the payroll, you don't have to go out that bad. You could just enjoy the music. I think the loyalty is just too close.
No, that's the hardest part for Drake's whole crew is they want to listen to it. They want to listen to it bad. They want to listen to it in the car. They want all of that, and they can't.
But that's the Meek back to back. This is the new back to back. You get in the club, it's gonna be on. You can't do nothing about it.
They want to be down with it. They want all of it. But let me tell you, man, and this is a sad thing about this world. It's a great thing to rap on, and I talked about this a little bit before, but I think I've distilled it into something clearer for the people to hear. Okay, people might stand by a buster, but they ain't trying to stand by no loser. And that man lost.
Yeah.
That man, He ain't got to get the suite down there no more. He ain't got to get a whole strip of rooms. Drake getting more peace and quiet than he's ever got in his life. Drake every now and then Drake be like, I wish all these people wasn't around. Well, this your lucky day, brother.
Go take that trip you always wanted to. You got time now, bro.
That dude went right back to Turks and Caicos. He went right back to Turks and Caicos. Like, nah, partner, you go to Laos. You go one of them countries I ain't even know had stuff to go see it. Right? You know how somebody be telling you, like when people first started going to Croatia, and all I knew about Croatia was civil war. Right? All I knew is don't pull your thing unless you came to bang. That's all I knew about them places. Come to find out they got beaches. Drake need to go find one of those. You know, but man, that is Travonne Edwards. Check my man on the BOMM Podcast Network. And of course, regular guest here on the right time. My man, I appreciate you. City is up.
Appreciate
Get
y'all,
outside.
Man, you know. Let's go Knicks.
Oh, I gotta send you a link on something me and my brother about to get into today. It might be your type of fun. I'm gonna send you in a second.
Oh yeah, please do.
All right, man. Sean, you got prize picks for the people?
I sure do, Bo. Today's picks I'm calling same name, different way. I got Derek White, 13.5 points. And on the flip side, Derek Lively, 13.5 points and rebounds. I'll take more there. And then let's go Jaylen Brown, 1.5 blocks and steals. I'll take more. And then Jalen Williams, 10.5 rebounds and assists. Just doing something fun here, but I do think this is going to pay out given the nature of
which Jalen Williams? Which Jalen Williams? Is he your Jalen Williams or our Jalen Williams? Well, I guess the other Jalen Williams belongs to all of us, but you got to share. You got to. I think you got a 25% interest in this Jalen Williams.
As Travonne said, the wing player. You know.
Got you. I'm the only person willing to come out here and stand on that third rail. Huh? I'm out here on fire, dog. I'm lit up.
Research too. You did the research.
I did the research. Also, like related to that research, it's very interesting. Arkansas kind of on fire right now. Arkansas got 4 young, good NBA players: Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, the Vietnamese one, Austin Reeves, and Malik Monk. He is Vietnamese. He the first. The wiki told me he the first Vietnamese player in the NBA. All right, so we got that. So Arkansas is kind of on a roll right now. Shout out Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams. They played high school. See, that's how the Thunder doing it. Thunder getting these dudes that ain't never been nowhere. These dudes went from their little town in Arkansas to the University of Arkansas to Oklahoma City. They ain't had a chance to realize, like, yo, man, what the hell are we doing here? They think they moved to Paris.
Like,
all they knew before this was Arkansas.
Nice. And I'm with my friends too.
Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this here 3 times a week. That's Sean Huey, handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. And we'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.